Wow, very much experience. What were you going to say?
Do you think sex is getting better?
Well, is your sex getting better?
Well,
let's
I don't know. I mean, that's what sort of struck me. I mean, I think we're the same age. We're almost the same age. And, you know, I think our feminist revolution was kind of fucking fun. You know? No, it was, right? So this is the question is like, I mean, because I have younger friends and I'm kind of haunted by it. I mean, I don't think that they necessarily need to join my feminist revolution, but I do feel like, you know, I mean, you can have whatever kind of porn you want, but some of it's sort of depressing, the sort of defunification of sex. You know, I don't know how to put it, but is this, I mean, particularly women, are we actually asking for what we want? Well,
it's not just your age, but when you tell me that you have a fun nostalgia for your youthful sex life, it makes me know that you were in a place, perhaps an urban place, a cosmopolitan place, where there wasn't slut shaming, where people weren't, because I have lots of friends who it might as well have been the 50s where I lived. You know.
Susie, I was friends with Felice Newman. We went to school together.
Oh, there you go. So you were in the thick of it. You know, you were in a queer, sex positive, no slut shaming, you know, and that is, yeah, I mean, sometimes I get surprised. I'll go to college campuses, I'll teach there, and I'm like, you're younger than me. You should be so radical. You should be blowing my mind. I should be outraged. I should be like, I can't handle this. You know, that's how it should be. It shouldn't be me who's the sexual eccentric. Now, that isn't the same at every school and every place. It's unfair generalization, but. I get most of that information from my daughter's generation and her friends. And on one hand, I love how calmed down they are about being gay and bi. That's very nice. Certainly, the girls are much more cool. Yeah, I have the Hitachi. You know, I figured this out. I figured that out. The ones who, if they are at all okay with masturbation, they're fine. You know, they're doing just quite well with that. But there's still the part that's been so difficult, and this goes back to that AIDS panic, is it was used in such a manipulative way to create an abstinence campaign that has been devastating. It's been awful. And it's been so bad for young people on every level of their health. I talk about in the book about when Aretha was in junior high, she brought home someone from her sports team. Oh, I think Karen's, pregnant, and I told her you could help. And I was like, whoa, I haven't done this since the Red Tide, but it was like my girlfriend, we didn't go to somebody's mom. We just did it on our own. And it made me deeply sad that she felt like she couldn't tell her mother, and that it was sort of like this triage thing, like, I am going to choose you, I will help you. I feel real bad that, like, your mother's not the best mom ever on your side at a time like this. But stage 2 was like, okay, so we hustle down to the Planned Parenthood clinic and, go show her how you can do this and how you can come yourself. It could be private, anonymous, you don't have to pay. And they go through the appointment with her, and the doctor came out and she said, yes, Karen would like me to talk to you about this too. She, it's not just a pregnancy issue. She's got a heart murmur. She's got PID. And she's anemic. I mean, it's like her entire health care has been neglected because no one, since puberty, she's been just like, not looked after. And I don't know why. I feel like I should be part of the militant wing of Planned Parenthood or something. If people only knew how much primary care they do. If people only knew, like, being on the front lines and that just women's health care, whenever you attack our uteruses, it's like, it's so much bigger than that. Oh, I don't know. I get asked constantly about how do I feel about all the sexual hype. It's like asking me how I feel about rock music being played in elevators. I don't like it, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I was impressed with how detailed
your book was, and the detail that you brought up, what you wore to certain events. Did you keep did you keep a diary as a kid, or do you just have a great memory?
Really? When you say that, it makes me, I hate those Harlequin romances where every paragraph says, so, in my red bustier with my Jordache jeans, as I, it wasn't that bad, was it? No.
There was the bodysuit, and I thought, oh yeah, I had one of those.
Oh, okay, yeah, the bodysuit. Sometimes, writing is that combination of being really like blunt action, no description, and sometimes there's just this moment where you want to capture something. And there's something so 70s about an ice blue velvet one-piece leotard jumpsuit that the fact that I thought that was the sexiest, hottest thing I had, and that time I put it on and realized for the first time that my belly slightly curved out instead of in, and oh my God, I was just so frightened by that and dismayed, and it just was like this moment of puberty that leotard just had it.
So no diary.
Oh, God, in that case, no. I've lost my diaries twice in tragic fires. Yet another tragedy that is not in this book, but just, accidental fires. I don't have hardly anything written down. And no pictures of that damn jumpsuit. I must have been so cute in that, and it's just all in my mind.
Well, on your jumpsuit thing, if you would have been on TV or in a movie, and you would have showed your breasts.
What breasts? There were no breasts at that time.
No. Okay, but if you were in a movie and you showed your breasts or your ass and everything, that's really cool. But you never see a good dick shot.
Oh, well, I do. Maybe we haven't been seeing the same movies. You're probably talking about some of the taboos about male nudity, although I think one thing I notice, I'm a movie nut, and there's been so much more of that whole Judd Apatow casual, guys' nakedness instead of women, and yet the women now have these bras in bed all the time. I have never slept in a tight-fitting foundation garment. I can't imagine, oh, yes, this, maiden form, it'll never come off, just who does, that's been very confusing to me. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How has your relationship with your body changed over the years? Where is it now?
I see. The leotard question comes up, and now you're going to put me on the ropes. I think
No
Doug
pressure.
should have to answer this, too. Okay, here's the inspiring part. A couple years ago, thinking about how I wouldn't be able to afford health insurance anymore, and contemplating that as I enter my 50s, a lot of your friends drop dead of heart attacks. This is it's the decade where really shocking things happen. And you're like, oh my God, they were so, it seemed so young at that point. And I don't know why I hadn't convinced myself of this before. It would have been better for me. But I was like, I really do have to get on the stick about self-preservation, because I don't want to be one of those people who can't take a long hike or run or frolic or swim in the ocean and think of myself as a playful person. I don't want to lose that, let alone the heart attack. And I don't plan to be around. I have a checkout date. I'm at less than 20 years. I want to have a good time. So I began to run in the forest, in the ocean, and I do it with other people, and I'm very oriented towards other people, so the idea they're waiting for me, I get very excited about that. And I've been sweating really hard for the first time outside of sex and dancing ever. And that's been a kind of a aha moment for me. On the other hand, everything about aging, I'm sure that you have that bumper sticker here on the east, the one that says, getting old isn't for sissies. And my reaction is, but I am a sissy, so what am I supposed to do? I don't like it. That part, maybe you're wondering about, like, the sex stuff. Like, do you, you know, I look at young people and see how they, like, are in agony over their figures and their acne and their whatever, you know. They think they're so ugly and they don't realize they're all fucking gorgeous, you know. They don't know it. They don't get it. By the time they realize it, you know, it's like the story of a flower, right? And I certainly do understand that my sexual appeal and power is, you know, belied by all kinds of appearances. And certainly the people I've been attracted to and wanted, you know, came in every kind of, you know, appearance. There was even somebody was asking me about a story in here earlier that they said was a turn-on. It was one of the more explicit passages. And I said, yeah, I made him intentionally grotesque because I wanted to have this Beauty and Beast moment. You know, I wanted to show how when you know how to get off and you know where you're going and you're sexually alive and vital and connecting with someone, it doesn't have to be perfect. And nobody looks, you know, the cute picture thing is utterly irrelevant. I'm glad I know that. That's a good thing to, like, know deep inside. One more? Mark.
This may be in the book. Just curious. You're obviously so focused and passionate, but anything you could think of as far as a do-over, a regret?
A do-over. Well, like, yeah, if everyone had listened to me, you know.
That's our do-over.
No, that was like my. Oh gosh. You know, that from a parental part of view, my do-over was that this is a big thing to say, so I don't want you to take it in a slight way. I didn't raise my daughter in a religion. Really big deal. I mean, hell means nothing to her. You know, she has no concept of sin. The first time I realized she didn't understand when I kept saying Jesus Christ as an expletive, and I said, what do you think I'm saying? And she says, it means get out of the way. Because I was driving, you know. I was like, great, that's exactly what it means. It means get out of my way.
How old was she?
Oh, it was really little, you know, like 5 or something. And then the other one was, and this was not at all easy, was to not hit her, to not lose my temper and go for the, you know, the hit. And it wasn't like you just sit there and go, I will not do it. Because believe me, I don't think my mother, you know, said, I will be hitting her regularly. And nobody who plans these things, unless you're a complete psycho. You have to have like, and I talk about it a bit in the mothering part of this book, you kind of have to have this structure about, like, if you are going to get to that point, because I knew there was no way I wasn't going to get mad and feel irrational. So then what? You know, how do you, like, get dragged off? Or like, what do you do? But yeah, that has been definitely the best do-over I've been able to see in my lifetime.
Did you kick the I'm sorry habit?
The I'm sorry, I don't know, have I said I'm sorry?
No, you haven't.
Well, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Yeah. Hey, I hope I'll get to, you know. No, God, no. But she's pretty young still. But I hope I get to meet you, talk to you, say hello. To sign your book, to sign your brow, your breast, your foot, your stigmata. You know, that would be fun. Thanks, and thank you, Doug. That was a great interview.